Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I have another declutter. We are decluttering my palettes. I thought about doing like all eye products all at once. I have way too many freaking palettes. I have so many palettes. Now I feel like I do rotate through them quite often. I'll kind of use one for like a couple weeks and then I'll switch it out, or I'll use in conjunction like a couple at a time and then kind of just keep switching them out. So this is going to be interesting because I feel like I don't want to get rid of some palettes, but I think it's maybe time. Okay, so I am going to just kind of go through all my palettes and share with you guys what I'm keeping, what I'm not keeping, and just kind of share with you guys like what my reasoning maybe for getting rid of it or for keeping it is. So the first thing I have are 3 Tarte palettes that I have. I pretty much use all 3 of these throughout the week, like very often. Lately I've been on to this one. It's so simple and so easy. This is the original Tartelette that kind of has just basic matte shades. This one was a limited edition one from a while ago, which probably means I should get rid of it, but I love it. Like I literally use these like very like easy transition shades all the time, and this blush is so pretty. And I just feel like I rotate through this very often. I feel like these 3 are always on like some kind of rotation. And then I've raved about this one so many times, the Tartelette in Bloom. I love them. I know some people say they're patchy or they just don't work well on their eyes. I find that they work really nicely, and they're just kind of simple, very like everyday, soft, almost like no makeup kind of palettes. So really love these. They're like always gonna be with me. Okay, another grouping of palettes that I just can't say bye to. Like I know if I get rid of one I will completely regret it, and I just can't get rid of them, and they are all of the Naked palettes. So I have the Naked Ultimate Basics, which is such an awesome palette. It's literally like a dream palette for me. It's so easy to use, kind of like the Tartelette ones. I feel like they're just like very natural everyday eyeshadows. And then my Naked Basics, again, really just simple. God, I like boring palettes, like really matte, like boring colors. I love the Naked Basics too. I know some people don't. I love it. And also the Naked Basics. I find that I gravitate towards them all the time, and they're just easy eyeshadows to use. So if I just want like a little something on my eyes. I also have the 1, 2, and 3, and I just love them. Like the Naked one is just such a great, I feel like this is like my summer palette. I kind of like dig into this one in the summer. I haven't really dug into my Naked 2 very much lately. Maybe even in the past year I haven't really, but it's so nostalgic to me because I used this on my wedding day. And I just can't get rid of it. And then I feel like this one's actually my favorite of all the 3, is the Naked 3. It has really pretty, just kind of rosy tones. And I always wear this one and pull this one out kind of like in February when it's like romantic and Valentine's Day. And I feel like this is just like the perfect romantic, feminine Valentine's Day palette. So I have to keep all of them. You guys, this is really hard. I'm like looking at my palettes and I just don't want to get rid of anything. This is so hard. My chocolate bar palette, this is like my fall palette. I always pull this out in the fall, and I've been using it quite a bit lately. And it's just really pretty, and I feel like it's so appropriate for date night. I just really love it. I can't get rid of it. I can't. You guys, this is really hard. I'm trying. Other palettes that I'm going to keep are MAC palettes. Obviously I've created these for a reason. I haven't really worn them much lately, which I should really pull them out and start using them. And I feel like I need to kind of go through these and kind of figure out, I only have a couple in there, what I actually use and need and what I don't, and I can probably take some of those shadows out and pass them along or get rid of them or whatever, because I feel like I need to like refresh this, and I feel like that will make me use it quite a bit more. So I love MAC shadows though. I think they're really great quality, they're affordable, and I like them. This is so hard. Okay, I'm just sharing all the ones pretty much that I'm going to be keeping. Seal in the Light, they do not make this one anymore, but it's just so good and I love it and I use it, so that's staying. And then the Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye, you know, I like this one. It's just very pigmented. Like, you have to be really careful when you use these, and it sometimes makes a more dramatic eye than I want sometimes. Sometimes I like a little more subtleness, like something like the Tartelette gives me a little bit more of a subtle eye rather than like a very like dramatic kind of like smoky eye. Like, I don't really want a smoky eye most of the time. Maybe when I go out with my husband or like do something fun, but most of the time every day I'm like digging into that boring shade, and that's like it. So I am going to keep it for a little bit here. If I don't use it within probably the next couple months here, I'm probably going to pass it along, but I really love it. This is really hard, guys. Okay, I am going to get rid of these. I don't use them. I remember I hunted for them, and that's probably why I'm holding on to them, because I hunted down a couple of these, but they are the Wet n Wild palettes. I don't even know if they make these anymore. Maybe they don't. I have no idea. But they just sit there. I literally never use these. I don't tend to really like drugstore eyeshadows. These are really good quality for the drugstore, but I don't know, I don't reach for them. They're literally in the back of my drawer, and I never reach for them. This one was Nude Awakening. It was a limited edition one that it's really pretty, but I don't use it. Comfort Zone, which was like a really popular one. I never wear greens. If I ever used it, it was always this side. And then Drinking a Glass of Shine. It was like a bunch of matte colors. Again, I use like those three, and that was it. I never use those. Oh, I'm gonna get rid of them. I'm actually just gonna toss them because I have had these for such a long time that they just need to go. This little Bobbi Brown quad, I am gonna keep this one. I love this shade right here. I really like Bobbi Brown's eyeshadows. Sometimes when she does palettes, they don't turn out the same way as her actual like single eyeshadows, but these actually are really nice, and I'm gonna keep this because it's really small. It's great. Actually, I like to bring this one for traveling because sometimes I love to bring the Naked Basics, but this has like a nice shimmer, so I can just pop that on the lid if I'm going somewhere. But again, I really like this one for travel. I have this one, and this is like this is like old school YouTube right here. This is the NYX 10 color eyeshadow palette in the shade Caviar and Bubbles, and I use the heck out of this thing. Like, I probably use this for a very long time, but it is time to go. It is time to say goodbye to Caviar and Bubbles. It's a really pretty palette, really pretty neutrals, obviously. They're very subtle shades, which I also like, but it's so old. Like, I don't even know. It says 12 months. It's been probably 4 years. I have this Makeup Geek one that I just talked about. It's called In the Nude, and again, just really great eyeshadows. This is one to actually travel with as well. It's a little bit like larger than my itty bitty one, but it's so pretty. It has everything you need in this eyeshadow palette. You can make a really dramatic eye. You can make just a simple, just throw these in the crease and you've got a really pretty eye look. So I am going to keep that. I love the quality of these shadows. They're really nice, so I will keep that. And I also cannot give up this Lorac Unzipped palette. I feel like this is a great summer one as well. I just love the tones, and they're kind of like rosy, bronzy tones, which if I were to wear probably one eyeshadow, it would probably be within this palette because they're just so easy. And I like that this palette you can use one eyeshadow and it can stand alone. You don't need you really don't even need a palette with this, but it gives you the opportunity to have a palette, but you literally can just pop that all over the lid and in the crease and you look like you have a really pretty eye look. So I love this palette. Oh gosh, this was really hard, guys, but I'm gonna keep it. Okay, this next one is the Lorac Pro 3. I don't have the Lorac Pro 1 or 2. I've never had them, but I don't know if I'm a fan of this formula. I know a lot of people are, and I know a lot of people love this formula, but I don't know if I do. I actually like the Unzipped palette way better. There are some really good like neutral, easy shades, but I don't feel like I ever gravitate towards this. I don't know. I might put this in my maybe and see where I'm at the end, but I just don't feel like I ever grabbed this. It's such a pretty palette. Like when you look at it, it's so pretty, but I just don't ever wear it. I don't know. I think I should get rid of it. I am going to pass along this for sure. This is the Bare Minerals Bare Pro Contour. This is actually a like face palette, not a eyeshadow palette, but this is the shading, like a contour shade, kind of like a bronzer shade, and then a kind of like highlighty shade. And this is just too dark for me. I haven't even swatched it. It's just, I know these colors are too dark for me, so I am going to pass this along to someone or put it in a giveaway or something because it's never been used and it's just too dark. This is that Morphe 25B palette. This is my first opportunity to kind of use Morphe shadows, and I do like this palette. It's actually really pretty for fall now that I'm looking at it. But I just don't feel like I use it enough to like really give it some love. So I don't know. This is another maybe. Maybe I'll keep this over the Lorac one. Or maybe I'll keep the Lorac one over this one. I don't know. Okay, we're just gonna move along. I'm gonna come back to those. This is the IT Cosmetics Je ne sais quoi quad, well yeah, it is a quad, of face products. Bronzer, highlights, blush, and the Bye Bye Pores pressed powder, which I love. I'm definitely keeping this. This is such a great palette to travel with. Like you could literally like have this, an eyeshadow palette, or you could even just use this as an eyeshadow and bring some mascara with, foundation, and you're good to go. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna keep this. Okay, so I have a couple of Kevyn Aucoin products. This is the, I kind of talked and raved about the Contour Book Volume 2. And it's a really interesting palette and concept. So it has a cream highlight, a powder highlight, a cream sculpting kind of contour shade, and then a powder contour, and that has 4 eyeshadows, which the eyeshadows are so good. And I do like the creams and powders, but I just don't find that I reach for this as much anymore. I know I just raved about it and like not very long ago in a favorites video, but I just don't feel like I tend to use this as much as I thought I was going to. It's great quality. It really is good quality. I think I might pass this along, see if somebody else wants it, because I honestly don't need it. I don't contour very often. I won't reach for a highlight for this. I do really like the eyeshadows, but it's not enough to keep this, you know. So I think I'm gonna pass this along. I also talked about this Making Faces beauty book, which is so cool. The concept is so cool. I haven't even used it though. I've been just using so many like basic eyeshadows lately that I just don't use this. The concept is amazing though. It's super cool. So it comes in this like magnet little like case here, and they're all magnetic to each other. Has a mirror, which is really nice, and then it has little books. It's like a little chapter book. So chapter 1 is contour, and you get some contouring and highlighting shades. Then chapter 2, and they come apart and they're magnet. I just love it. They have some blush shades and then some like eyeliner powdery shades. And then the last one is just a bunch of eyeshadows. Love the concept. Like, I freaking love this. I just don't use it. Like, I haven't even touched this yet. So I think I'm going to pass this along as a gift to someone. I actually know somebody that would really, really love this. So they're going to get a nice little present, early Christmas present. Okay, and then last palette I have here is my Too Faced Natural Eyes palette. Oh, I don't know. I do this every single decluttering. I go, I don't know. Then all of a sudden I start using it and I'm like, well, I need to keep it because I'm using it. And then I don't use, and then it goes back in the drawer and I just like don't use it again. Like, I go through phases with this where I really like it, and then I go through phases where I'm like, maybe I should just get rid of it. I don't know. It's a really cute palette. I just feel like I have so much eyeshadow that I don't need it. Like, I don't need you, but I need you. I think I am going to pass this along because I just don't need it. I don't need it. I need to stop looking at it because I just don't need it. I need to pass it along to somebody who will use this on a regular. I'm not using it on the regular. That's my excuse. Okay, for the Lorac Pro 3 and the Morphe palette, I think I am just going to keep this one and pass this one along. It's a great palette. It's super cute. It was only 25 bucks, but there's so many freaking eyeshadows. You could literally make every kind of eye look ever. I actually find that this is a bit dark though. This is just like a really dark eyeshadow palette, and there's not enough of light colors that I would use it. This has a lot more like very like natural shades to me that I would use this more. So that's what I'm gonna stick with, giving this away, keeping this. Okay guys, so that is it for my decluttering of my palettes. I've gotten rid of some, kept a lot. That was really hard. Honestly, my palettes I knew were gonna be the hardest out of my whole collection because I don't know why I tend to gravitate. I like palettes because they just have everything there for you. You don't have to like dig around for single eyeshadows everywhere. I actually don't really like single eyeshadows, and I find that I rarely use them. I actually find that I use palettes like a ton, and I do really rotate through them quite a bit, so it's just hard to get rid of them. But I hope you guys enjoyed this decluttering. If you have any video requests, leave them down below. I'm going to be back with, I'll probably do a decluttering of other eye products that I have, and then I'm going to do a decluttering of my skincare. It's out of control. Like, I have an overflowing. I had like a drawer for all my skincare. Now that drawer has become 2 drawers. So we gotta like cut down on the skincare and get rid of some stuff because it's just out of control. I'll have more declutterings coming up. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!